This is the Chapter 3 review for Math 6. Numbers 1 and 2, the directions say to evaluate the expression when x is 6 and y is 5. So what that means is when we are going through our problems in 1 and 2, we plug in these specific values that have been assigned to x and y if we see x and y in our expression. So number 1, we have both x and y here. So x was 6, so we're going to plug in 6 for x, keep that plus sign, plug in a 5 for y, and then keep that minus 4. So now since we have a plus and minus, we're going to do our order of operations. We're going to do 6 plus 5 first. We get 11 minus 4. And 11 minus 4 is 7. So our final answer there should be 7. Number 2 says 18 over x. This is the same as 18 divided by x. Both mean the same thing there. Here we only have x, and x is 6. So we're going to plug in 18 over 6. Or 18 divided by 6, whichever way you guys are going through it this way. 18 over 6 or 18 divided by 6 is 3. So our final answer here should be 3. Number 3 and 4 say to write the phrase as an expression, then evaluate. That's the key part there. We have to write this phrase as an expression first, and then we evaluate the expression when A is 2 and B is 7. So number 3 says the total, and total is a key word there, that means adding, of a number A and a number B. So we would use the sum here, the total is the sum, so number A plus a number B. So that's the first part. Now we actually want to plug in values for A and B. So A is 2 plus B is 7. And that equals 9. So that's the two parts to number 3. There's two different parts there. Same thing for number 4. It says 9 increased by a number A. So 9 increased by is the key word there. That's addition as well. So a number A, 9 increased by plus a number A. So that, again, first part. Now we're going to plug in for A, and if we had to look back up there, A is 2. So we're going to plug in 9 because we have 9 plus 2. So here that is 11, and that is our final answer. 5 and 6 say to simplify the expression. So we're going to use either the commutative property, the identity property, the associative property, or the zero product property to simplify this expression. So if we look at 5, we have all addition. We have 7 plus 12 plus x. Now, according to our order of operations, we have to do what's inside parentheses first. But we don't know what x is, so we can't add 12 plus x. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our parentheses over to put them around 7 plus 12, and then have plus x on the outside. That is the associative property that we used. Remember, associative property is regrouping numbers. So now here, we can actually solve or simplify 7 plus 12. That would be 19, and then plus x. That's as far as we can go to simplify. So we're going to box that answer and be done there. So for number 6, again, we can't add 3.2b plus 0.8 because one has a variable, one does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip around my numbers. 3.2b plus 1.9b plus 0.8. So I use the commutative property there, and that's when I move the order of numbers there. And then I'm going to regroup these two, and I'm going to add 3.2b plus 1.9b together, and that is the associative property. Once I've grouped 3.2b and 1.9b, when I add those two together, I get 5.1b, and then I have to add on that 0.8. So I can't combine any more terms here, so this is as simplified as it can get. So I'm going to box that answer and go ahead and move on to number 7. Okay, number 7 and 8 tell us to use the distributive property to simplify the expression. So I'm going to start with number 7. I distribute that 11 to both terms inside of my parentheses, and when I distribute, I'm using multiplication. So 11 times 3 is 33. I'm going to use the minus sign, that subtraction sign, because there's a subtraction sign inside our parentheses. And then 11 times m. Well, I don't know what m is, so I'm just going to write that as 11m. Now, using standard form, if I separated these two different terms, standard form tells us to use or put our variables first. So this is a negative 11m. And this 33 here is positive, so we would write plus 33. Number 8, we are distributing the number 4 to both terms inside our parentheses. So 4 times 6a, well 4 times 6 is 24, so I have 24a there. I'm going to use the plus sign since there is an addition sign in my parentheses in original. And then 4 times 7 is 28. So that would be my final answer there. Number 9 also wants us to simplify the expression. Here we're going to be using some distributive property, and then we're also going to be combining like terms. So we're going to distribute this 3 to both terms inside of my parentheses. So I'm going to keep the 6a plus here. I'm not going to use that yet. 3 times a is 3a. And then 3 times that 1 is 3. I'm going to use that subtraction symbol because I have a subtraction sign in my original problem. Now I'm going to separate my terms. So I draw a line in front of every plus or minus sign that I see. And I notice that 6a and 3a are common terms. They're like terms, so I can combine those. So 6a plus 3 more a's, that is 9a. And then I'm going to bring down that minus 3. So my answer should be 9a minus 3. This is the first half of our videos to grade our Chapter 3 review for Math 6. So go ahead on to the second video and grade the remaining problems in your review packet.